What's in the box? Hey Wargamers, it's Mike from epicduckstudios here again with another episode of What's in the Box. Today, I'll be opening up Horus Heresy, Betrayal of Calth. As with all episodes of What's in the Box, I'll also be going through assembly of at least one miniature in the box after we've gone through and reviewed the contents. So here we go. Alright, so here we have the box itself. It weighs a ton, like on the neighborhood of 5 or 6 pounds, which is obviously not really a ton, but it's a lot for a starter set. Of course, it does contain a whole board game as well. You know, details of well-painted miniatures on the back. Pretty typical for a GW box. We're not here to review the box. Let's be honest. Right, so right off the bat, we've got a sprue here containing, well, there's 6 sets of legs, 10 backpacks, 10 torsos, so there's gotta be some more legs somewhere else here. Yeah, let's just, let's zoom in on this frame here. So yeah, we've got, you know, a large number of torsos here, quite a large number of heads. Got one of the nice retro rocket launchers. 6 sets of legs, the other side of the rocket launcher. Got a power sword option over here, some thunder claws, or lightning claws. Good number of backpacks, which are all identical. Got a plasma pistol over here. Just some random decorative details as well. And then we have an identical frame. So we've got another half frame just containing legs, some power fists, all the bolters, arms. Looks like we have 3 of those. And then another of the first frames we pulled out. So there's 3 and 3 there. Right here we have the Cataphractii Terminator frame. There's 5 of them on here. You can count the 5 backpacks, or back of the torso. 5 sets of legs. Interesting that they've done the legs sort of in 2 pieces to get a more dynamic pose on them. You can see for every single one of them, a foot is separate from the rest of the body. Then just assorted, you know, lightning claws or power fists, chain fists. You know, the usual assortment of Terminator weapons basically over here. So yeah, it looks like there's about twice as many arms as there are models to use them, so there's some options here. That's always nice. Then we just got hands with bolters over here. Now those are going to be, what, combi bolters in 30k, I believe. And here we have the frame for the single Contemptor Dreadnought. There is only one of these. There was some people claiming there were going to be 2 in the package. It appears that's not the case. There's just the one. But yeah, it is a monopose model, unfortunately, or at least relatively monopose. The legs can't be posed at all. It does look like there's at least a little bit of choice regarding the arms. We've got, looks like 3 different arms here. You've got a choice of what appears to be a Melta, an autocannon, and I don't even see where that one goes, but it does look like it's another piece of an arm. Guess we'll find out when I go to assemble it. And then there's a small character frame, which clearly has 2 models on it. Looks like we've got a Cataphractii Terminator Lord of some type. I haven't actually looked at what the models are called on the box, so maybe we'll go to that before I start really getting into this. But just looking at it, again, they're monopose, which I'm okay with. All GW's recent plastic character clamshells have been really awesome, even with them being monopose models. And these are no different. They look really good. We're seeing a lot of like the design elements we saw in the, or not design elements, but casting styles we saw with the Age of Sigmar kit. You can see like this guy, like his head is attached to his groin via a peg in the middle of the model. And it just makes sure things line up in the right place and allows some pieces to kind of be freestanding. And they did really introduce that, you know, heavy-handedly in Age of Sigmar, and I really didn't have a problem with it there. It made some models really easy to assemble, so good on them. Big bag of bases, all of them 32 mil or bigger. There's a couple 40s and one, I assume, a 65 for the Dreadnought, because that's what Dreadnoughts use. We also now have these dice, which are used for the board game rather than for regular Warhammer, so they're not numbers, they're symbols. I haven't read the board game rules yet, so I don't know what they represent, so we're not even going to comment on them right now. There is a stack of cards for the board game. Again, same idea. I don't know what they do. It does kind of look like you have to beat this Dreadnought up bit by bit. This is the card for his left leg alone. That's kind of neat. And then we have the board. Hang on, I'm going to zoom right back out again. So the game board here is made up of hex tiles. It's quite heavy. It's probably half the weight of what was in the box. But looks really good. It looks like it's pretty much the same quality standard as Space Hulk was. Maybe even a little bit better. And we'll open that up in a moment. So here we've got a Horus Heresy Betrayal at Calth book, which actually introduces some of the character models. And then, of course, just all the assembly instructions in here. And they do show you here, yeah, lightning claws or ranged weapon and melee weapons. So they do indicate that there are some options. Good to know that I can count. And perhaps more importantly is the rule book for the actual game. It also has some decent pictures of the miniatures in here, as pretty much any GW book would. Profiles for the different weapons, different scenarios, different ways of laying the board out to play those scenarios. I'll probably try and get a game of this in with Asher Owen in the coming days, so hopefully you'll see that. Wondering if there's going to be a lot of fluff. Yeah, here we go. This looks like about the second half of the book might be fluff. A little bit of information on the 2 chapters present here. And then selling you more Horus Heresy stuff, not surprised. Saw that one coming. It also comes with a few empty plastic bags. I'm assuming these are for putting the cards in once you've opened them. So one thing I want to check here really quick. If we go look at the Cataphractii Terminators. Okay, there's a Terminator Sergeant. Legion Terminators. Wanted to check whether they were calling these Storm Bolters or Combi Bolters, but it looks like they don't actually make that distinction here anywhere. They just call them ranged weapons. Okay, maybe for the purposes of this game it doesn't matter, so they don't bother making that distinction. And let's see here, was I right? We have one arm that's an open fist. Then yeah, we have a choice of a Melta or autocannon on the other side. Cool. Hopefully we can magnetize that. I'll take a look at that when we go to assemble it. So yeah, after the break, we're going to come back and assemble this miniature right here. Again, we're looking at, it's only, 10 or 12 pieces or so. It's a pretty lightweight model as they go. And it does look like there's enough pieces to magnetize the arms, I think. I guess we'll find out. We do have 3 shoulder joints though, so I'm pretty confident we can do this. Let's go ahead and just open up the board here really quick. Okay, so it's just pretty straightforward punch-out pieces. It does look like there's a few places where there might be, where the perforations don't cut all the way through. And just want to make sure your surface doesn't rip when you're pulling there. You can see here it's snagged just a tiny little bit. So, if you want to be really, really careful, you could go around with an X-Acto knife. If you want to be, a sane human, I wouldn't bother. These are really cool in that they're 2-sided, so you get basically twice as much map out of them. It's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and just finish opening these up. There's also a bunch of little tokens around the edge. I'm not sure what purpose these serve in the game yet, because we haven't played it. So I'm not going to pop those all out right now, because there's quite a few of them. But let's finish isolating the map pieces here. And another double-sided one here with a little Mechanicum symbol in the middle there. So looks like in total we've got 4 full boards, each of them being double-sided. This one's got some interesting little volcano, or I don't know, almost looks a bit Tyranid-y, like they might be like maggot colonies on it. It's kind of strange. And how do these actually slot together? Does it work the way it looks like it works? Well, if you get the right sides, it does. We're going to go ahead now and go build that Contemptor Dreadnought.